My name is Elke Wiesenberg. I am a senior at YU, the vice president of clubs of the Stern College for Women Student Council, and a member of the YOMS committee. It is my honor to be introducing tonight's Tekes on behalf of the incredible YOMS committee as we honor the courageous men and women who have fought to live in the Israel homeland, in our homeland, for 72 years, and we celebrate Israel's independence. For many YU students, we have taken Israel for granted our whole lives. It was an expensive vacation, sure, maybe one we couldn't always afford, but most of us knew with certainty that we would make it there one day, whether to visit, to go for a gap year, or to take a birthright trip. Today, for the first time, I am unable to visit Israel. The borders are closed through September, and the plans I had to visit this summer are ruined. I can't go to Israel. This realization hit me so hard. Even though I know the borders will Be'ezrat Hashem reopen soon, and if I were Zocha and it was my time, I would be able to make Aliyah today, I feel trapped. My American citizenship won't give me free access to my homeland. This made me think more about our privilege relating to Israel and how we do take it for granted. I can make Aliyah. I have the option, even in these crazy times. I had a plan to visit Israel for leisure this summer. I took it entirely for granted that I could do these things. Even though every year as we commemorate Yom HaZikaron and celebrate Yom HaAtzmaut, I try to think about the blessing of Israel, how much was sacrificed to get us the land, to get us the kotel. I have never felt like this, being stuck in Chutz La'aretz. I feel that now as Israel's borders are closed, even though it's just temporary. I feel it, and it evokes the horror of pre-Israel independence, when Jews were actually literally stuck in their various countries. This realization makes me so much more thankful for what we have now. The theme of this year's YOMS is Kibbutz Galiot, the gathering of Jews from exile. While many of us have our tafkidim in various parts of the world, let us not forget that Israel is our homeland. Let us feel in our souls the gratitude for the opportunity to go, to be in Israel, for the fact that we are not stuck in Chutz La'aretz. While we are still waiting for the ultimate redemption of Mashiach, let us not forget that Kibbutz Galiot is already happening. Let us thank Hashem for the fact that we have Israel. HaKotel biyadinu. We must, from the bottom of our hearts, pay tribute to all who have sacrificed for the state of Israel and thank God for our victories, for the opportunity for Kibbutz Galiot that we have, the opportunity of the state of Israel. We will now hear the ceremonious siren sounded to remember all those lost, followed by a few words from two YU students and former Israel Defense Forces soldiers, Yehuda Ben Hamum from Brooklyn, New York, and Laura Vosberg from Israel.
Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me. Hope everybody had a meaningful Yom HaZikaron and Chag Sameach. My name is Yehuda Ben Hamu. I am from New York. I graduated in 2016. I went to learn in Yeshivat Birkat Moshe Ma'ale Adumim in Israel. I learned there for a year and a half, and then I drafted to the military, the Israeli Army, 202nd Battalion of the Paratrooper Brigade, or Chativat HaSamchanim, some of you may know. I was part of a program called Machal Hesder, which you draft to a certain unit with guys from Yeshiva. And I finished this past summer and since been in YU. So I wanted to talk about Yom HaZikaron for just 1 minute before I say my main message. Is that many of you know, the IDF sends all the soldiers to the over 23,000 graves of all the soldiers killed in the wars throughout Israel's history. And I was privileged to go in the first year I was in the army. I went to a soldier's grave who died in 1948. And I was the only one there, no family, no friends. And I had the honor just standing there and just memorializing this great hero. But last year I had the privilege of going to a small yeshuv where I met this family of a tzanchon who died 30 years ago in a terrorist attack. And they gave me hugs and they held my hand and they invited me to their home afterwards. When I got there, I saw 30 other guys, all in their 50s, 60s. And I realized that it was his platoon, this boy's platoon who died from 30 years ago. And every Yom HaZikaron, they come together and they sit down and they talk about their lives and they memorialize him and sit with the family. And I realized at that moment that it's sometimes hard to see the missing puzzle pieces in our nation, because we're not there to see the soldiers who die most of the time, and most of them. What we have to understand is that what they gave is so much more than just the defense and the land of Israel, but they gave us the achadut that we talk about and the camaraderie within Israel. It's all because of them. Because to know that someone who doesn't necessarily believe what you believe in, from a totally different background than you are, will die for you. That's why Israel is so together, and that's when the hard times we join together, because we're in the end of the day brothers, and these people sacrifice so much for that. But as Jewish people, we go straight from darkness to light. As always, we use it as inspiration. And what I want to speak about is something that's very relevant to the YU message of Torah and Madah, and a message that I learned from the army I think is very relevant to our times. When I first got to my dream, so the HESDER program, how it works is that you learn for a year and a half, and you go to the army for a year and a half, and then you come back to learn a little bit. But basically, it's looked at as learning and then a break for the army. But when I first got there, in the class of over 100 Israelis, I remember Rav Chaim Sabat, that was the Rosh Yeshiva, walked in on the first day and said something that's very powerful and stays with me till today. He said, many believe that HESDER is learning with a break in the middle for the required army service. He says, but it's not that way at all. The army is an irreplaceable part of the experience of becoming a fully responsible religious Jew. To learn something and then to make it part of you takes two very different but complementary experiences. And so I thought, okay, cute, you know, they have to go to the army, it's a mandatory thing, so they try and incorporate it into the learning. But only after 3 years and after the service did I realize how true this statement was. And I really found the meaning of this statement in a place that we call the Shetach. Now, some of you may know what the Shetach is. The Shetach is translated as into field. And every combat soldier knows the Shetach very well. It's where his dreams go to die. It's the toughest place in the army. It's what brings you to the kaseh, or to the edge, as we call it. And it's a place where you don't sleep, you don't eat, you carry weight that's double you. You walk for days and days and days, and it simulates war. And it's a place that brings you, that tests everything that you think you are. It tests you at the edge. And this is where I found the meaning of this statement. I'm going to give you two short experiences of mine in the Shetach in different forms, and show you where I found this. The first experience was, there was a week, it was simulating war. It was almost half the army, and they brought us on helicopters to the beach and then on boats to the Mediterranean for a couple hours, and they brought us back and we walked for 3 days. And I remember on the fourth day, we finished walking, and in the morning, we got to where we were going right at 5 in the morning, 5, 6 in the morning. And there's that 1 hour where the commanders all have to decide what are we going to do next. In that hour, the soldiers just fall and they go to sleep because you're falling asleep as you're walking. So the second you have any part. But I remember my friend next to me turns around and says, Yalla, let's go take out tefillin. And it was the most unnatural thing. I said, tefillin, now I can't open my eyes. But we took out tefillin and we prayed. And that second, tefillin meant a little more than tefillin meant on a normal day. I had another experience in the real Shetach when we were on the border of Gaza for 6 months guarding. And every Friday, there was the March of Return. I'm sure a lot of you heard about it. And every Friday, there would be thousands and thousands and thousands of Gazans coming to the border and rioting and protesting. So it was our job to sit there and to watch over and to handle the situation. So it was me and my friend, my partner, who was a sharpshooter, his job, we had to sit on this mountain dirt right at the border and watch these thousands of people and make sure that if anybody passed the fence, we had to handle them. So we're sitting there in a situation that we're not prepared for, with blood rate up and a lot of pressure on our head. And suddenly these thousands and thousands of people get off buses and loud Arabic music turns on and tear gas starts going out and then smoke. And it's just a situation where your senses are heightened. and you're sitting there and you can't think of anything else besides for what do I have to do right now? But as the sun was going down, my friend right next to me started singing Kabbalat Shabbat, and I'll never forget it till today. I thought to myself in the beginning, I heard Kabbalat Shabbat, and I thought to myself, how could he be singing Kabbalat Shabbat right now? It doesn't make any sense. Shabbat is this comforting time. It's this place where you go to relax. This is the opposite of that. This is a place where I can't think. But I realized right then the meaning of the sentence, Yoter miYisrael shamut Shabbat, shamat Shabbat utam. Because at that second, Shabbat didn't come in the comfort of our own home or shul, but the comfort came in Shabbat. And as we're sitting at the border, in all the chaos, suddenly we understood within ourselves what just what Shabbat meant to us. It meant something really special, and it was more than just an experience that we have and we believe in, but an essence of who we are. We can't go without it. So it doesn't matter what situation we're in, that's what we're going to do. And so I realized over my army experience and through more of the experiences in the Shetach at the Katz, that the Shetach is a place and a moment in our lives that things that we believe in and learn about become part of the essence of who we are. That is the lesson. That is the Shetach. And every Israeli has to go through this. And they have this experience in their lives where they harden every ideal, whether it's religion, whether it's Zionism, whether it's fighting for their family, and they take that. And the soldiers that we spoke about today, HaZikaron, who fought, they all took that and decided that it was worth their life because it was part of who they are, this country. And that is a beautiful thing and a beautiful experience. And that's why that a picture of a soldier in the desert wearing tefillin is so inspirational, because it's not the tefillin that's inspirational, but what's before and after that makes it so special. I thought that this was relevant to our time because after 2 months of sitting in a house in an unprecedented situation, I realized that we right now are in the Shetach, and we have an unparalleled opportunity as American Jewry, because we have a lot of challenges on us in our daily lives, but we rarely have that experience of the Shetach, of that one moment that we're unprepared for, that we don't know what's going to happen next. That's really hard, and everything, even the small things, become so much harder. We have that experience now. To look to see the blessing within this tragic time. And I think that it's a rare opportunity that we all have to capitalize on. And I was hearing a lot this message that if you don't finish a book or get a job or I don't know, finish a masechet in this quarantine, then you wasted your time. I don't believe in that at all. I think that the small things that we do every day, just by doing them now, become a part of who you are and can change your life. Whether that's waking up to daven in the morning, putting on tefillin, whether it's sitting down to learn anything for any amount of time, whether it's wearing something special on Shabbat, sitting down with your family at the Friday night table, or any of these experiences, they become so much more than things that we learn about and things that we took for granted, but become things that are part of who we are, because now we are tested with the test of actually living through those things when it's not easy, when it's hard. And so just like Rav Sabat told us in the beginning, we have to welcome this task and we have to take it to heart. The last experience I want to share with you is when we were on the plane. We had to jump out of a plane a few times. That's some of the being a paratrooper. And so we were on the plane. I remember the first time there was this one boy in my unit who was an atheist who didn't believe in. That was fine, but we always used to argue. And I remember that on that plane. So that was the katseh for him. And at that point, you just want to find something. You're looking for something within yourself. And he turned around to me, and we were all saying this tefillah derech tzamchan, which I have right over here. And it's a special prayer we say before we jump out. And he turns around to me, and he said, and I gave him this card, and he said it out loud on this plane with the doors open and the wind coming in. He said this tefillah. And I honestly think that from that second, he changed and who he is. And wherever path his life took him in the end of the day, something in him changed, something was instilled within him, because at that moment, at that shetach, like I said, he decided on something that was important to him, and he took that. And that changes who he was as a person. So I think that this Yom Ha'atzmaut, we can't necessarily go to Israel. We have to obviously celebrate the state, and Yom HaZikaron, we have to commemorate all the soldiers. But let's take a lesson that Israel can teach us, the lesson of the Shetach, the lesson that we have to instill within ourselves, within the hard times, all the things that we believe in, so they become part of us. And we have the opportunity now. As Rabbi Isaac said yesterday, we're now all chayalim bodedim. We're all chayalim in the army of Hashem, and we're bodedim because we're in bidud. And now we all have the opportunity, this rare opportunity, to change who we are. So let's utilize this time. Let's celebrate the state and what it teaches us and all our brothers and sisters in Israel. And hopefully, B'ezrat Hashem, next year we'll all be in Israel together. Amen.
Shalom, my name is Lara Vosberg, and I'm in Israel right now. I'm Israeli, and I am a senior year at YU. I have a prepared speech, but I have to refer to what Yuda said. I feel like it's a closure for me. My uncle was also a paratrooper, and he was killed in '73. And I'm wondering, and I'm hoping, and I'm praying that he had Birkat Tfilat HaDerech for the Tzanchen when he was on his missions. And it just got me wondering. And I'll go ahead to my piece. And Yuda, Elohim, Hashem yivarech otcha for being a paratrooper. It is a really amazing job to do in the Army. So aside from coming to YU, serving in the military has been one of the best experiences of my life. The IDF has taught me discipline, camaraderie, responsibility, patriotism, and the value of life. Every day we pray, V'bacharta b'chaim, and after my service, I understood why. Indeed, loss of lives in war, loss of lives is inevitable. But after we bury our sons, daughters, brothers, and sisters, we owe it to them to pursue life with passion and rigor, and more than anything, to pursue peace. Pursuing peace does not mean you have to be a pacifist or that serving your homeland is not a must. But we should also remember there is more than one way to serve it. Soldiers must defend their country by learning how to fight, but also by learning how to make peace. As a veteran of the IDF who knows its ins and outs, it only makes sense that my fellow former soldiers and I should be the ones called upon to form the guerrilla of peace. I'm not only talking about peace between Arabs and Jews, but also between our communities. I want to fight for peace between Orthodox, conservative, and Reform, Ashkenazim and Mizrahim, leftists and rightists. We need peace and equality amongst Israel's economic classes. We need to fight for financial equality at a time when the richer are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, and even in our beloved Jerusalem. There are Holocaust survivors in Israel who do not have medicine, access to food, money, or human touch. On a personal note, I wish to fight for peace in Israel in honor of my 2 deceased friends who were murdered in a suicide attack in Netanya. I want to fight for a peaceful Israel in honor of my uncle, my mother's brother, who volunteered for the paratroopers and was killed in Egypt during the 1973 Yom Kippur War. He set an example for me too. As a dual citizen and as an only child, I could have easily avoided the army. And yet I wanted to contribute to the land that has blessed me and my ancestors for thousands of years. I wanted to fight for my grandmother, who was a Holocaust survivor and who gave her son for the sake of the country. I wanted to serve for my mother's sake, who raised me all by herself, and still taught me, Bnei Yisrael aravim ze lazeh. I hope to be a reva to the whole world. And may we be blessed by the famous words of Isaiah, Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, velo yilmedu od milchama. Toda.
Good evening. My name is Eli Seidman. I'm a student at Yeshiva University and a member of this year's YOMS committee. We now light 2 candles. The first candle will be lit in memory of the soldiers who were killed defending the state of Israel, and the second candle will be lit in memory of terror victims. Please join us for the candle lighting ceremony by YU students and former IDF soldiers Alex Volchek and Chano Chaminsky, followed by Kel Malay, recited live by YU graduate Gedalia Penner.
Hashem shomecha, Hashem tzilcha, El Malei Rachamim, Shochein B'Meramim, Hamitzei Minucha Nechona Al Kanefei HaShechina B'Mahalot Kidoshim Tiorim V'Giborim Kizohara Kiyom Azirim L'nishmot HaKadoshim Shenilchamu B'chol Marchot Yisrael B'machter U'tzba Hagana L'Yisrael V'shenafilu B'milchamtom U'masiru Nafshom Al Kiddush Hashem Hom V'Yoretz Bavur Shanu Mitpalelim Liloi Nishmoteim Lochein Bala Rachamim Yasirem B'Seiser Knafav Le'olamim V'Yitzror B'Tzirur HaChayim Et Nishmoteim Adonai Hu Nachalatam Began Eden Menuchatam V'yanuchu B'shalom Al Mishkevotam V'tamod L'chol Yisrael Zechutam V'yamdu L'goralam L'keitz hayomim V'nomar Amen.
Now it would be my honor to introduce Rabbi Yosef Blau, Senior Mashgiach Ruchani at Yeshiva University, to recite the tefillah l'chayalim.
Mish berach Avoseinu Abraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov. Hu yivarech es chayalei tzva hagana l'Yisrael, v'anshei kochos habitachon. Ha'omdim al mishmar artzeinu v'arei Eloheinu. Migvul halvanon v'ad midbar Mitzrayim. Min hayom hagadol ad ha'arava v'chol makom shehem ve'yabasha v'avir uvayom Yitain Adonai es oivenu hakomim aleinu. Nigafim lifneihem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu yishmor v'yatzil et chayoleinu. Mikol tzara v'tzukah. Mikol nega u'machala. V'yishlach bracha v'atzlacha b'chol ma'aseh yedeihem. Yadver soneinu tachteihem. V'yatrein b'chesed Yeshua. V'ateres nitzachon. V'yikuyam b'hem ha'kasuv. Ki Adonai Elohechem. Ha'olech imachem. Lilachem lachem im oivechem. Laoshia eschem. V'nomar amen.
It is now my honor to introduce a leader of my Chicago community, our keynote speaker, Rabbi Leonard Matanky, head of the school HaZikaron Jewish Academy, which my mother works at and my brothers go to, the rabbi at Congregation Kins of West Rogers Park, co-president of the Mizrahi America Religious Zionists of America, chairman of the Kashrut Committee of the Chicago Rabbinical Council, and past president of the Rabbinical Council of America. He has graciously recorded a special message to be shared with all of us tonight.
כבוד נשיא הישיבה, ראשי הישיבות, ותלמידי Yeshiva University, Chag Sameach. Tonight we celebrate 72 years of what Rav Schachter Shlita has described as the creation of a modern Malchut Yisrael, and what the late Rav Shaul Yisraeli Zatzal wrote was the moment when the nations of the world gave us the permission, la'alot b'choma, to return in force to our homeland. An event of miraculous proportion which enabled the kibbutz galuyot, and which he ruled demanded shevach v'oda'ah la'kadosh baruch hu. And therefore it was 72 years ago that the Jewish future moved eastward. And Jews me'arba kanfot ha'aretz began to return en masse, more than 3.5 million so far, to the land of our ancestors, fulfilling Moshe Rabbeinu's prophecy that wherever we might be, misham yikabetzcha Hashem Elokecha, from there God will find us, gather us, redeem us, and bring us back. And so tonight, I want to share with you a story from that night, a story told by the late Ambassador Yehuda Avner Zal, a man who was not only one of the founders of Kibbutz Lavi, but who also worked side by side with many of the great founders of the State of Israel. Avner had made Aliyah from England in 1946, and soon after, as was true of so many young men and women of that time, people who came to Israel following the World War, he joined the Haganah to defend the land. 72 years ago, on May 14th, Hey Iyar, Avner was stationed near what is now Yad Vashem, together with 25 others, armed with pickaxes, shovels, and a dozen or so World War I rifles that none of them really knew how to use. In Avner's words, they were an untrained, inglorious bucket brigade of diggers and hackers, ready to defend Yerushalayim from what they feared would be an invasion of the Jordanian and Iraqi armies. As night fell, rumors also spread that Ben Gurion would not declare independence, and that the British would not leave, that Begin would rebel, and that the Arabs had captured downtown Yerushalayim. With no means of communication, Avner's commander, Elisha Linder, a man destined to become one of the founding fathers of maritime archaeology in Israel, sent one of the men named Leopold Mahler the grandnephew of the composer Gustav Mahler, to town to find out what was going on. Around midnight, Mahler came back breathless and exhausted. Immediately, Alicia grabbed him and said, "Well, talk. What did you find out?" Mahler said he had heard nothing about Begin, and that not only had the Arabs not taken downtown Yerushalayim, but the Jews were in control of the whole area. And as proof, he opened his coat and displayed a Union Jack tied around his waist. And then he began pulling out of his pockets all sorts of foreign luxuries, Kraft cheese, Mars bars, Cadbury chocolates, and from his knapsack, cans of peaches, jars of Ovaltine, and a bottle of caramel wine. "Where did you get this from?" everyone asked. "From Bevengrad," he said, "from the cordoned off area of Rehov Yafo, near Shlom Tzion Amalka, where the British had their headquarters." When Mahler got there, he found the British had evacuated, so he went in and found all of this food in the officers' mess. And then Mahler told them the big news, that Begin had declared independence that afternoon, and the British had hauled down the Union Jacks, and that the Jewish state was to come into being at midnight. Hearing this, the men burst into tears of unimaginable joy, slapping each other on the backs in celebration. But then Alicia turned once again to Mahler and said, "Hey Mahler, ma shem hamdina shelanu? What's the name of our country?" Mahler looked at him blankly and said, "Shachachti lishol. I forgot to ask." So somebody said, "Oh, it will be called Yehudan. David HaMelech's Judea was Yehudan." And another shouted out, "Tzion. It's obviously going to be called Tzion." And a third one said, "Ma Rabbi Yisrael." So Alicia took the bottle of wine that Mahler had brought and poured it into a mug, and he said, "Let's drink l'chaim to our new state, whatever its name is." Whereupon one of the defenders, who was a chassid from Meir Sharim, a man they used to call Reb Nussin de Chazin, yelled, "Chakeh, it's Shabbos. Let's make Kiddush first." Reb Nussin took the mug and began to sing in a sweet cantorial voice, Yom HaShishi. And when he came to the closing bracha of Mikadesh HaShabbat, he started to shuckle back and forth, and in a trembling, emotion-filled voice, he added the bracha of Shechianu. Said Avner in an interview many years later, "I'll never forget that Shechianu. Shechianu v'kiyemanu v'gianu lazman hazeh." Those were the words that were recited around the world on that day. They were even the front page headline of one of the Aguda newspapers in Israel. Because for 2,000 years, we had waited for that day. 2,000 years we had prayed for that day. And then 72 years ago, just a few years after all had seemed to be lost, God gave us a gift. He brought us together. He brought Jews together from around the world to fulfill the dreams of generations and create a country. Shechianu, v'kiyemanu, v'gianu lazman hazeh. Which brings me to a Dvar Torah I heard many years ago when I was in college and a chanich in Bnei Akiva. An explanation of the pasuk we all know so well, Shir HaMa'alot B'shuv Hashem et Shivat Zion, Hayinu kecholmim, that when God returned the captives of Zion, we were as dreamers. What does the phrase Hayinu kecholmim, we were as dreamers, really mean? Maybe. The answer is that within the context of these past 72 years, maybe it means not that we were dreamers, but that we were like daydreamers. That we've watched miracle after miracle occur in the state of Israel. We've watched the ingathering of exiles, Jews from Arab lands, Jews from the former Soviet Union, Jews from Ethiopia, Jews from France, Jews from Europe and South America, and of course, Jews from the United States and all of North America. Jews from every corner of the world coming back to Israel, and yet, hayinu kecholmim, we've sat on the sidelines, daydreaming, preoccupied with our own lives, unable to fully comprehend the miracle, the wonder, the beauty, and the opportunity that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us through his gift of Medinat Yisrael. Hayinu kecholmim, we were like daydreamers. And maybe the time has come to stop dreaming and start praising God. Maybe tonight it can all change. Tonight, as we celebrate and we dance, as we daven and we sing, maybe tonight we will remember Reb Nosson the Chazan and his Shechianu. Remember how fortunate we are to live when we do and to celebrate the miracle of Israel, the glory of a nation reborn, a people reunited from four corners of the earth, reunited with our land. Shehechianu, v'kiyamanu, v'gianu lazman hazeh. May we truly appreciate the gift of God, the majesty, and the beauty of the modern state of Israel. May it continue to blossom and grow. Chag Sameach.
Now it would be my honor to introduce Rav Meir Goldwicht, Joel and Maria Finkel, visiting Israeli Rosh Yeshiva and visiting professor of Jewish history, to share a few words with us.
ברשות ראש הישיבה, הרב שכטר שליטה, ברשות נשיא הישיבה, הרב ברמן שליטה, המנגיח שליטה, מורי ורבותיי, תלמידים ותלמידות יקרים. חיבור בין יום הזיכרון ליום העצמאות הוא החיבור שמקפל בתוכו את כל מהותנו. כי זיכרון ביהדות זה בדיבור ובמעשה. בדיבור אומר דוד המלך, תדבק לשוני לחיקי, לא אזכריכי. לשון מבטא דיבור. במעשה, אם אשכחך ירושלים, תשכח ימיני. ימיני מסמל עשייה. לזכור פירוש הדבר לדבר ולעשות. וכך זוכרים את ירושלים. בדיבור, ותחזינה עינינו בשמך לציון, ירושלים עירך ברחמים תשוב, שנה הבאה בירושלים. במעשה, מעלים את ירושלים על ראש שמחתנו. כל חתונה, עוברים כוס מתחת החופה להזכיר את ירושלים, לזכור את ירושלים. גם בונה בית, מניח המעלמה, לזכר, לחורבן ולזכור מה הייתה ירושלים, וכך עוד ועוד. לזכור בא לידי ביטוי באופן נוסף. זיכרון זה לא רק ביום היורצייט, זיכרון, לפי חלק גדול מהמנהגים, וגם ברגלים, פסח, שבועות וסוכות, יש תפילה מיוחדת, תפילת יזכור. כולם רצים, משתדלים לא לאבד את התפילה. עכשיו במצב שבו נמצאים, שאלו לפני פסח, צריך מניין להזכור, לא צריך מניין. זמן מאוד משמעותי להרבה יהודים. הרבה פעמים שאלתי את עצמי, מדוע בחג, פסח, שבועות וסוכות, ושמחת בחגיך, קנו, נוהגים, תפילת יזכור. זה מתאים הרבה יותר לקבוע ימים בשנה, בהם יתאספו כולם, ויזכירו את הנשמות של עיקריהם, וכל הדורות הקודמים. מדוע זה דווקא בחגים? כי חג, בלשון הקודש, יש לו 3 מילים בתורה, מילים נרדפות, מועד, רגל, מקרא קודש. מועד הוא שדבר שכולם מתוועדים ביחד. רגל, כולם הולכים ביחד לאותו מקום. מקרא קודש, כמו מקרא העדה, מודיעים לכולם לבוא להיות ביחד. 3 הפירושים של המילה חג בלשון תורה, בעצם פירוש אחד, אחדות. לכן באו חכמים והוסיפו שם רביעי, יום טוב. מה הצורך בשם רביעי, אם בתורה כבר יש 3 שמות? רגל, מקרא קודש, מועד. כל השמות של התורה מסמלים אחדות. אומרים חכמים, אחדות, וגם עם הדורות הקודמים. זה היום טוב. אין ביהדות מושג של אחדות, שזה מתחבר עם הדורות הקודמים. פירוש הדבר, חזקה על המת שמשתכח מהלב. נכון, המת, אבל על החיות שלו, מה שהוא עשה, מה שהוא פעל, מה שהיא עשתה ופעלה, זה לא שוכחים. החיות שלהם מאפשרת לנו חיות היום, ויצירה מחר, ועשייה מחר. אמרה לי היום, ביום הזיכרון, שכולה, חגית ריין, אישה מאוד ידועה בארץ ישראל, נהרג, אך יומיים עד שחילצו אותו, פתאום היא מתעוררת ואומרת לעצמה, קיבלתי תואר חדש, שכולה, מילה של צבות נוראה, של קושי נורא. היא אמרה לי, אמרתי לעצמי, היא מוסיפה על המילה שכולה, עוד אחת משמו של הקדוש ברוך הוא. לא רק שכולה, אלא הופכת את זה להם שיכולה, תאות יוד. לקחת את החיות, אחרי אמרה של בנה, להעביר את החיות הזאת הלאה. זה אנחנו עם ישראל לדורותיו. חיבור שלנו זה לא רק עם העתיד, עם ההווה, גם עם העבר. זה נותן לנו את הכוח להמשיך הלאה. לכן, למה? כולנו נשמה אחת, בגופים מחולקים. כאן אנחנו אומרים, בני מה טוב ומנעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. מילה גם נראית מיותרת. אפשר לומר, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבט אחים יחד. למה כתוב גם יחד? ראיתי שאומרים, אדמונים, יחד, ראשי תיבות. יש חילוקי דעות. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבט אחים, גם אם יש חילוקי דעות. אבל אין חילוקי לבבות. למה אין חילוקי לבבות? כולנו נשמה אחת. איך אנחנו יכולים להרגיש את זה? איך? התשובה היא, העולם נתן לזה תשובה כבר בתחילת הבריאה. היום בבריאה נאמר כי טוב. בורא העולם החליט לברוא אותנו, נאמר, וירא אלוקים את כל אשר עשה, והנה טוב מאוד. מה ההבדל בין טוב לטוב מאוד? זה לא ציון בתעודה. טוב, ההרמוניה. דברים בבריאה זה חלק של פאזל. אמרו ראו כי טוב השם. רק טוב. מצא אישה, מצא טוב. רק טוב זה ההרמוניה. מאוד, דבר שלא רואים אותו. אבל מזהים פוטנציאל, יש את היכולת לממש אותו. מי שמסוגל לזהות פוטנציאל ולממש אותו, זה רק אדם, זה רק אנחנו. אומר המדרש, אדם אותיות מאוד. לנו יש את היכולת הזאת. הראשון שלימד אותנו, איך מזהים פוטנציאל ומממשים אותו, היה יצחק אבינו. נאמר עליו, ויזרע יצחק בשנה ההיא, בארץ ההיא, ונמצא 100 שערים. ויזרע יצחק בשנה ההיא, הייתה שנת בצורת, שנים של בצורת. בארץ ההיא, בארץ פלישתים, אין שום סיכוי בדרום, בשנת בצורת, לזרוע, להוציא פירות. אבל על הזרעים אפשר לעשות מזה קמח, לפחות לאכול כמה לחמים. אבל יצחק מבין שמה שרואים זה לא מה שיש. יש הרבה מעבר לזה. לכן הוא מוצא 100 שערים. בארץ ישראל הזאת נאמר טובה הארץ מאוד מאוד. בארץ ישראל שלנו יש בה פוטנציאל רוחני ופוטנציאל גשמי שאין כמותו בשום מקום אחר בעולם. לכן לא במקרה שמות של ארץ ישראל מקופלים בשמו של יצחק אבינו. יצחק, י' של יצחק זה ארץ ישראל. צדיק של יצחק זה ארץ הצבי. חטא של יצחק זה ארץ החיים. וקוף של יצחק זה ארץ הקדושה. זה כל המהות של ארצנו. נותנת לנו את היכולת לזהות, לממש את הפוטנציאל שבנו, על כולנו. לכן, פעמיים בכל התנ"ך נאמרת המילה מורשה. כה ציווה לנו משה מורשה קהילת יעקב, ואתן לכם מורשה, היא השם על ארץ ישראל. כי ארץ ישראל ותורה, הדברים שמה שרואים, זה לא רק מה שיש, יש הרבה מעבר לזה. העמל של תורה מאפשר לנו לגלות את הפנימיות שיש בתורה, איך הדברים באמת משתלבים ומתחברים, למרות שאולי בהתחלה היו דברים לא מובנים, על פניהם הדברים היו נראים סותרים, מקום אחד, מקום שני. גם אותו דבר ארץ ישראל. על פניו היה פעמים נראה, דברים לא מסתדרים, איך זה הולך, איך יכול להיות. זה האתגר שלנו. אין כמו המצב שבו אנחנו נמצאים עכשיו, כל העולם כולו. ארץ ישראל, רואים עד כמה כל אחד, כל יהודי מגלה את היכולות שלו. איזה חסדים הולכים בארץ ישראל. בכל מקום, בחוץ לארץ, בכל מקום, מגלים את הכוחות, כוחות העצומים שיש בנו. מבינים, גם אם נראים אחרת, גם אם חושבים אחרת, אנחנו נשמה אחת. אנחנו אחד. אחד המקומות המיוחדים בעולם. הישיבה אולי המיוחדת בעולם, כן, הישיבה המיוחדת בעולם, שיש בה חיבור לסוגים שונים של תלמידים. ישיבתנו, ישיבת רבנו יצחק אלחנן, ישיב אוניברסיטה. ואנחנו מראים לקדוש ברוך הוא, הנה, אנחנו ביחד יוצרים אחדות אחת, ההשפעה שלה היא אדירה. לכן, במיוחד בשנה כזאת, אנחנו נכנסים לשנת 73 של ארצנו שקיבלנו רשות מהאומות. והיום זה בדיוק 100 שנה, האספה בסן רמו, אומות העולם, נתנו לנו את הרשות, מכוח זה, אחר כך הגיע כ"ט בנובמבר, אחד שאנחנו נמצאים בו היום. לדעת, זה הכוח שלנו, האחדות, לראות את מעלתו של השני. אנחנו רואים את זה, מאמינים, וגם לשני יש פוטנציאל גדול. כמובן זה נובע, אנחנו מאמינים בכוחות שלנו, שלנו יש פוטנציאל, לעשות עוד, ליצור, לבנות. גם רואים את זה אצל השני. עשינו השנה, ע"ג, מתחיל מזמור ע"ג בתהילים, טוב לישראל. שנה שתהיה טובה לישראל, עוד רמות. אבל את זה ניקח על עצמנו. אנחנו נכנסים השנה לשנה, ברור היא תהיה טובה יותר. במצב שבו העולם נמצא, העולם היהודי נמצא, בו ארץ ישראל נמצאת, לאור כל מה שקורה, ברור שכולנו נגיע לרמות אחרות של בן אדם לחברו, של לשאת בעול עם השני, של לזהות היכולות שלנו ושיש לאחרים. ניקח את זה איתנו, נקבל את זה על עצמנו, כן, בלילה הזה, ביום הנפלא הזה. אין ספק שהשמחה, שמחת יום העצמאות השנה, תהיה גדולה יותר, עצומה יותר. הדבר יבוא לידי ביטוי ביום יום שלנו, ונזכה, בעזרת השם, ובזו השנה, לראות עד כמה בכל המובנים, ארץ ישראל, טובה הארץ, מאוד מאוד, נזכה באמת להיות ביחד, לא רק עם הדורות הקודמים, שנותנים לנו את הכוח לפעול היום, לבנות את המחר, אלא מבחינת יקיצו וירננו ישני עפר, ונזכה באמת בזו השנה לגאולה השלמה, מתוך ברכה, מתוך בריאות, מתוך שמחה, מתוך ריבוי כבוד שמיים, יום יום במעשה ידינו. יום עצמאות שמח לכולם.
Now it would be my honor to introduce Rabbi Dr. Ari Berman, President of Yeshiva University, to share a few words at Tefillah Shalom HaMedina.
Thank you so much, Eli. It's really so wonderful to be here with you, to be in the presence of our incredible Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Goldwicht, Rabbi Blau, Rabbi Schachter, to hear from our students. So moving, so impactful, your words. And to be here at this program that's organized and put together by our students. I'm so proud of our students. The YOM committee, the work that you've done to arrange this, certainly in the conditions of today, just so important and so impressive. And we thank you so much for organizing this and setting this whole thing up for us. I'm going to begin with the tefillah, the Medina. I ask all of you to join me, and then I'll continue afterwards with some introductory words for our siyum. Please, everyone, join me to yourselves. Avinu Shabashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'goalo. Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Ge'ulatenu. Hagen aleh b'avrat chasdecha, ufros aleh sukat shlomecha, ushlach orcha b'mitzcha l'rosheh, sarev yoatzeh, v'takneim be'etza tova mufanecha. Chazek et yidei imiginei eretz kadshenu, v'anchileim Eloheinu Yeshua v'teret titachon ta'atreim, v'natatu shalom ba'aretz, v'simchat olam liyoshveh. V'etachenu kol beit Yisrael pekadna b'chol artos b'zurenu, Tolenu meira kamus l'tzion yirecha Yerushalayim mishkan shemecha, kakatuv b'torat Moshe avdecha, imi yedacha b'ktzei hashamayim, misham yikabetcha Adonai Elohecha, misham yikachecha. Ve'viacha Adonai Elohecha al ha'aretz she'yershu avotecha v'yirishta, ve'yitzivcha v'yirbecha ma'avotecha. V'yached v'vein al'aba al yirat shemecha, v'lishmor et kol divrei toratecha, v'shlach lanu meira ben David Mashiach tzidkecha, v'ftot machakeket yeshuatecha. Hofa b'hadar ga'on uzecha, al kol yoshvei tevel artzecha, v'yomar kol asher neshama ba'apo, Adonai Elohei Yisrael Melech u'malchuto b'kol mashalah. Amen. Selah. We celebrate tonight Yom Ha'atzmaut. And this is different Yom Ha'atzmaut than the other times of celebration. as we find ourselves in a period of a world pandemic, the likes of which are simply unprecedented. What I'm going to do in my brief remarks is introduce the siyum that we've all undertook to study Kol Sifrei Kodesh, all of Tanach, all of Mishnah, all of Shas Bavli. Together, our whole student body and our community, to heal a wounded world, to bring merit for Refuah Shalema. And it's this theme that is fundamentally connected to Yom HaTzmaut. It's fundamentally connected to Yom HaTzmaut. And that's why it's so appropriate that we mark this, this conclusion and this accomplishment tonight. You know, we started this, this endeavor really at the very beginning. This is now, I guess, 6 weeks. Is it 6 weeks, 7 weeks in? At the time, you know, we just heard the news of a student was tested positive. No one knew. Totally unscripted. The first one almost, you know, ground zero for its breaking in New York. Now, weeks later, who could have imagined over 50,000 lives lost in the United States of America alone? And just today, a few hours ago, we just lost one of our own, a student of Yeshiva University, Sadia Aaron Price, a student of the Makor program. Was taken from us. Saji was so beloved by the student body, by everyone here. He added so much to our Talmidim, so much to this yeshiva. We'll commemorate him, and we'll have time to commemorate him. It just highlights the period that we're in and the loss that we all feel, and the importance of a siyum to heal a wounded world, because we are wounded. We are wounded. And specifically to mark the siyum at the ma'avar from Yom HaZikaron to Yom HaTzmaut, because this siyum ties together our core values of Torah, Talmud Torah, Chesed, and Tzionut, and Zionism. Now, I remember when I first moved to Israel, one of the days we sent, my son came back from school, and he said to me, Abba, you know, today we had a Katyusha rocket drill in yeshiva. I said, I don't know, I've never had a Katyusha rocket drill. I don't know what that is. I assumed it was something like a fire alarm drill that we used to have in America, where everyone would go single file, you know, quietly and leave the building. So I asked my son, I said, is that what everyone did? You know, the alarm went off and everyone went single filed outside the building. And he looked at me and he said, Abba, what are you talking about? I said, I'm in the 8th grade. My job was to make sure that the first graders got out. And the 7th grader's job was to make sure the 2nd graders got out. And the 6th, the 3rd, the 5th, the 4th. That's what we do in a Katyusha rocket drill. And it really struck me so powerfully that one of the core lessons in Israel is the sense of achrayut, the sense of responsibility, that we need to take responsibility and we need to take care of each other. And this is the bigger message about Israel, Medinat Israel, and its purpose for our people and its purpose for the world. You know, there are two kinds of prophetic visions of Geula that's told in the prophets. The Navi Yecheskel speaks of dried bones coming back to life and returning to Israel, the Kibbutz Galiot, where Israel is a place of safe haven and salvation for the Jewish people. And then there's another vision in Yeshayahu, Ve'aviotim al har kachi, v'simachtim bebeit tfilati, ki beiti beit tfilah yikarei lekol ha'amim. That Israel is a place, it's a place of prayer, it's a house of God, not just for the Jewish people, but where God's words and God's love emanates throughout to all the world. That Israel is not just for the Jewish people, it's a herald and harbinger for a better world. Being a religious Zionist, Dati Leumi, means for us to support Israel as a reality, as a homeland for our people, but it's also Israel as a hope. To bring our values to our people and to the world. It is Reshit Tzmichat Gulatenu. Not just a safe haven and harbinger. It's a place for our Jewish values, for Jewish values to live and for Jewish values to disseminate. This is the tzionut that we celebrate. It's a tzionut, it's a Zionism of Torah and chesed. Because being a Zionist is not simply living in Israel. It is living the values of Israel. Wherever one resides and is located, one must live the values of Israel and spread these values. Spread these values to our fellow Jews and spread these values to the world. Torah v'kiddush Hashem. And this is why it is particularly appropriate to begin Yom Ha'atzmaut with this siyum, a siyum of Kol Sifrei Kodesh, a siyum to heal a wounded world, a siyum on Yom Ha'atzmaut to tie Torah and Chesed to Tzionut, because this is what our Zionism is all about. This is Reshit Tzmichat Gulatenu. We are working to bring the Geula, to redeem our world. And it's on this note that it's my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce one of the great leaders of our people, whose guidance and wisdom is always profoundly helpful to us. And specifically at this time, he has been a light to our nation and a source of incredible comfort through this terribly difficult time. It's my honor to invite Morenu V'Rabbeinu of Hershel Schachter Shlita to be Messiahing our communal siyum.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. The Gemara tells us in the end of the first parak in Bava Kama, the Gemara quotes a pasuk from Divrei HaYomim that when Chizkiyahu HaMelech died, they mechabed him in a very unusual way. But covered also moso. What exactly was the covered? So the Gemara says, Malaman shehoshiva yeshiva al kivroi. The way to be mechabed and niftar is to dedicate learning l'zechan d'shmasai. Covered, that's what covered is all about. The Mishna and Talmud tells us, "Ein covered ala Torah shenemar, the covered chachamim yinchalu." The Mefarshim are bothered with Akasha. There's a medrash on Bereshis Rabbah that comments on the pasuk when Yaakov Avinu tells his wives, "Hakadosh Baruch Hu asali es kol hakoved hazeh." You see, they ain't covered ala mammon. So how can the Mishnah say ain't covered ala Torah? Here it says ain't covered ala mammon. So they say over the name of the Vilna Gaon that the word covered is sometimes spelled mole with a vav, sometimes chasa without a vav. The pasuk that says asali es kol hakoved hazeh, that's covered chaser, incomplete covered, and the covered chachamim in chalad, that's covered mole. The real covered is liman haTorah, to dedicate learning zeichan dishmais, all of those who gave their lives for hakamas hamdina and protecting protecting the Medina all those years. They deserve a lot of covet. When you go to the army, you know that you may not be coming back. My children, my sons-in-law who are in the army, whenever they go, they know they may not be coming back home, you know, in advance. On the very last daf in Maseches Nida, the Gemara had asked a kasha on the bottom of Ayin Beis on the base. The Gemara quoted a machlekes Rabbi Yochanan Reish Lakish regarding the details of the Yud Aleph Yom Shebei Nida LeNida. There's a din of Nida and a din of Azava. A Nida is Tameah for 7 days. Azava needs Shiva Nekim. A Nida is Tavelas Balayla, and Azava you say Mixes Ayam Kukula. The Azava can be Tavelas Bayom in the morning, in the morning of the 7th day. And the Zava has to bring a carbon after the Shiva Nekim, and the Nida doesn't have to bring a carbon. As Manazad is not Beis Hamikdash, no carbon, so that difference doesn't apply. But the Gemara alluded to the fact that the Yud Aleph Yom should be Nida and Nida when an Isha who has a Riyaz Dam can become a Zava is 11 days. That's Halach al-Moshe Sinai. And there was a machlek Rabbi Yochanan Reish Lakish about the details. So the Gemara was bothered with a kasha. You mean to say, Hani halachas ninu, the Yud Aleph Yom is halacha l'Moshe Sinai. Halacha l'Moshe Sinai means an oral tradition which has no way of reading in between the lines in the Chumash. The Torah Shabbat Peh has the koyach to read in between the lines to figure out all the details of the dinim. Here, halacha l'Moshe Sinai means there's no way to read it in between the lines. So Gemara asked Akasha, it's not true. Don't we know this from the psukim? The Tanya, the Gemara quotes a very long brisa, goes on and on and on, 50 lines of a long brisa. So the Gemara finally answers just less than 10 lines from the end of the perik. Alma kroininu, don't you see from the brisa, this long brisa, that this institution of the Yud Aleph Yom Shebei Nida is not halacha Moshe Sinai that has no marker. You can read it if you read carefully. Slowly and carefully, read in between the lines. It's learned out from the psukim. So the Gemara answers, this point is a dispute between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Loza ben Azariah. The Rabbi Akiva, Kroy, according to Rabbi Akiva, this institution of Yud Aleph Yom is derived from the psukim. And Rabbi Loza ben Azariah is of the opinion that is halacha l'Moshe Sinai. So Rashi points out that we find in other places, take for example, the famous Gemara, Shimon Hamsana Heodorish Kales V'Yes Shabbat Torah, chaggigit, every time it says S, he darshan that it's alluding to something additional to what it says in the pasuk. Till he got to the pasuk, Es Hashem Elokei Chatira, there's only one God. So who is S being Marbe? So he backed out, Shimon Hamsani backed out from all the drushes. And then the brisa continues, Hashabar Rabbi Akiva v'libet, Es Hashem Elokei Chatira, the rabbis Talmid Chacham. Rabbi Akiva held like Shimon Hamsani, that every time it says S, you darshan something. So the lot of dinim, according to Rabbi Akiva, that you learn out from the word S. The other Tanoim may disagree with the dinim, or they may hold that the halacha Moshe Sinai learned that from different psukim. Rabbi Akiva darshans every yes. The Gemara says Rabbi Akiva darshans tagim. The Gemara tells an Agadah Menachos that when the Ribono Shel Olam was about to give the Sefer Torah to Moshe Rabbeinu, so he started to put in tagim. So Moshe Rabbeinu said, it's good the way it is. What do you need all the chachkalach? Baruch Shalom said, no, there's going to be a big Tana, Rabbi Akiva, many generations from now. He's going to darshan all the tagim. We absolutely don't paskan like Rabbi Akiva. The Gemara doesn't quote one drasha of all the drashas on tagim. Every time you have the letters Shatnez gets, Shinayin Tes Nun Zayin Gimel Tzadik, you always have tagim on it. Rabbi Akiva darshan tilim shel halachas. I'll quote quotes for quotes and every tag. We don't have anything from Rabbi Akiva. But it's Eila V'Eila Divrei Elikim Chaim. The Ribono Shel Olam put in tagim, because that's one derech I'm learning. Rabbi Akiva was the one, there's so many dinim that he would learn out from the tagim. Rashi quotes another din, that's a machlekes Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Loza ben Azariah. Rabbi Akiva read in between the lines much more than everybody else. So Rabbi Loza ben Azariah is of the opinion that Yud Aleph Yom Shemei Nida is halacha l'Moshe Sinai. There's no way to read it in between the lines. It's just mipi hashmua. It's an oral tradition. Rabbi Akiva read it in between the lines. Then the Gemara asks a funny question. The institution of Zava says in the Chumash, Isha kizia Zava dama yamim rabim. So it says in the pasuk yamim rabim. Maybe the Isha can only become a Zava if the Riyas Ziva 3 days in a row in the Yud Aleph Yom Shebei Nida L'Nida is only in the daytime. If it's a nighttime, not. Maybe she doesn't have the din of a zava ema. Perhaps I should say bima b'tevi zava below yetevi nida. Even within the Yud Aleph Yom, only if the riyah is in the daytime. Riyah is in nighttime shouldn't have a din of a zava. Amalei, so Rabbi answers him, no, it can't be alech amakor al nidasa samach v'nidasa. Samach nidasa is balelia. The night following the 7 days of nid does balayla. So you see that even balayla. Then the Masechta ends off with the comment, Tana de Eliyahu. Most assume that this is Eliyahu Hanavi. Some disagree. They think Eliyahu is a Tana. But the Tesis and Rosh Hashanah says that this is Tana de Eliyahu, means Eliyahu Hanavi. The Ramban writes in Hilchas Nida that when the Beis HaMikdash will be rebuilt and it'll be relevant halacha l'maisa whether the woman is a nida or a zav, it can't just be machmer. And everybody has a din like a suffix zava. Everybody needs shivanikim. But do you bring a korban? Do you not bring a korban? The korbanos are not bob and eder and adova. So lasid lava, we're going to have to go back to the dinim deraisa. When is the woman a nida? When is she a zava? So that's why Eliyahu Navi says kol hashana halachas b'chol yom. The one who learns halachas l'moshe misina, this halacha l'moshe misina, Yud Aleph Yom is very important. This mana said that there's no Beis HaMikdash, not that significant. We treat all anoshim as a toa, as if they had amnesia, as if they forgot, as if they don't remember whether they're in the Yimei Nida, Yimei Ziva. But Lasid Lava, we're going to have to know these halachas l'moshe misina. When is she a zava? Then when does she have to bring the korbanos and when not? So that's what Torah de Be'aliyah, Kol Hashana halachas b'chol yom. Whoever will learn these halachas will be relevant. Lo selah muftach lo shuv v'alam shenemar halichas olam lo atikra halichas el halachas. The Rambam has a famous opinion by the Yud Aleph Yom Shebei Nida. The Rambam says you have to have a calendar that goes for years and years. And the first time a young girl, age 11, 12, has a Riyas Adam, they have to mark up the whole calendar, 7/11, 7/11. So all of the Rishonim ask is against all the Gemaras. The Gemara said the Farish only the first 11 days. After the 7 days of Nidus, you don't mark up a calendar, 7/11, 7/11. So all of the Achronim on the last piece of Gemara, all the Achronim say, all the verses that say that it's only the first 11 days following 7 days of Nidus, if you hold like a big kiva, that it's learned out from the pasuk. So the pasuk, this long brisa, this 40-line brisa on the top of Ayin Gimel and Aleph, the brisa of Rabbi ben Azariah, that it's halach l'moshe misinai, then the Rambam is free to have understood that you mark up the calendar for the next 70 years. You mark 7/11, 7/11, Hadron Allah mas nido v'Talmud Bavli b'hadroch alon. Eitan Allah maseches leches nido v'Talmud Bavli v'letis nashemin lo b'alma hadeim v'lo b'alma diyosi. Yiratzam l'fanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'lehavestenu shetehei taraschum l'aseinu bo'elam hazeh seyimanu l'elam habo Chanina bar Papa, Rami bar Papa, Nachman bar Papa, Akoi bar Papa, Abba Mori bar Papa, Rafram bar Papa, Rochesh bar Papa, Sucha bar Papa, Ada bar Papa, Doro bar Papa, Harif no Adonai Eloheinu, as Divrei Seiroscha befino v'pia samcha beis Yisrael, v'niyah kolona v'anachnu v'tzetzoheinu v'tzetzoi amcha beis Yisrael, kolona yedu shemecha v'lomdei sarasecha me'oi b'isachach meni, mitzvasecha ki li'olam hili, hili tamim v'chukecha l'man la'ivosh, lo'olam le'eshkach pikudecha kivom chiyisani, Baruch atah Adonai lamdein chukecha, amen, 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 celebrate. Moedem anachnu lefanecha, Adonai Eloheinu v'lehavasenu shesamta chalkeinu miyeshvei beis hamedrash v'lesamta chalkeinu miyeshvei koronos. She'anu mashkimim v'hei mashkimim, anu mashkimim l'divrei Torah v'hei mashkimim l'dvarim b'telim. Anu amelim v'hei amelim, anu amelim v'mekablim schar v'hei amelim v'einem mekablim schar. Anu rotzim v'hei rotzim, anu rotzim l'chai hu elam haba. Him rotzim lebe'er shachas shenem, avato lehim taridim lebe'er shachas, an shidom memim v'layachzi yemem, ani yeptach pach. Yehi ratzon v'lefanecha, anu Elohai, kishem shehazartanu l'sayim ha'sechas nida v'Talmud Bavli, kein ta'azreinu l'haschil od svarim acherim l'saymam, lilmod l'lamed lishmor, v'lasus l'chaimis kol divrei Talmud Torah secha v'yahavo, l'schus kol atanoim v'ha'amaroim v'talmid chachamim, Yamod lanu ulazarenu shalatom shator mipino mipi zarein and bezera zarein adolam ktiskaim banu v'salechacha tancha oisach b'shach b'cha tishma alecha v'hakitzosa hisisichecha kivi b'yamecha v'yasifu lecha shnos chaim Erech yamin b'mina b'smaila oisha b'chavoda no yos lamo yitain no yivareches hamo v'asholom. Next time we'll be able to say the long Kaddish the Rabban. Now we'll leave it out.
Amen.
Mazel tov, mazel tov.
It is an honor and a pleasure to introduce YU graduate, the talented president of the Y Studs musical group, Ari Mandelbaum, to sing HaTikva and recite tefillah chaggigit. He will then be followed by a shofar blowing by YC College valedictorian CJ Glicksman. Please rise.
Kol odebale yava penirma nefesh Yehudi omiya fatei mizrach kadima ayin Tzion tzofia Olo avda tikvateinu Hatikva bat shnot apayim Liot hamachopshi be'aretzeinu eretz Tzion Yerushalayim Eliot HaMachopshi Be'aretzeinu Eretz Tzion Yerushalayim. Odinai kitov kilu lam chasto. Yemu v'le'an asher b'yad tzar. Yem talved v'arzik. Shalom matzav. Shafeich buz al nedivim vayaseim b'so lo adareh vayisagei v'veyon Meyavoni Vayasem Katzon Mishpachos Yerisharim V'yismacho V'chol Kavtza piha mi chacham yishmarele mispaninu ochastei Adonai תגל לארץ, זכויים רבים הנמפוס בקוף, צדק משפט נפון כיסוי. שמה ותשמח ציון ותגלנה ונועס יהודה למען משפטך אדוני כי אתה אדוני על כל הארץ מיד נעלה על כל אלוהים ועבדי אדוני סנורה שומר נפשוס חסידיו מיד רשעים יצילם אור זרו על הצדיק ולישראל בשמחה שמחו צדיקים באדוני ועודו לזכר קודשו מזמור שירו לאדוני שיר חדש כי נפלא עשה הושיע לו ימינו עזרו הקודשו יודיע אדוני ישועתו לעיני הגויים גילה צדקתו זכר חסדו ואמונתו דילאי לבית ישראל ראו כל אפסי הארץ אס ישועת אלוהינו הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ פיצחו ורננו וזמרו זמרו לאדוני בכינור וכל זמרה בחצוצרות וכל שופר הריעו לפני המלך אדוני רמיים ומלואו תבל ויושבי בו נערו שמחה וכה יחד הרים ירננו לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ ישפוט טבע בצדק וימים במישרים לילה sorry, ki avarech kumi ori shir da beri kavod Adonai yolayich nigla ay nay lay zehayom asa Adonai ay nagila nay venismechabo ay lovo sevo shi velo sikomi matishtochachi mateni bach yachasu ani ayami venim nisair altila dilay ze ayom basa Adonai nay no agila I lo sevoshi velo sikomi matishtochachi matemi Baker kasu ani yami veniv nisair atila izeh hayam asadonai nagila venismecha bo inai la da da hayli da 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 hayli da 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 la 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 yaminu smoti froti v'yasadonai tariti al yadish ben parti v'nismecha v'nagila Isaiah hayam asadonai nagila v'nismecha v'nagila Hayla da idam hayla da 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 idam Urachom yikaperam lo yashlis rebala shivapo lo yirkol chamaso Adonai Yoshiyam lechaneinu v'yom kareinu Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shalom Umavir yom mevi laila Umavir yom vein laila Adonai tzvo shemo El chai v'kayam Tamidim lo chaleinu lilam v'ed Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Haravim Vasalam Beis Yisrael Ki ein chayenu v'yorech yameinu uvahem nege yama v'layla v'yavasecha tosir mimenu l'yolamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzis yischem eretz Mitzrayim l'osachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem emes We're kazos going to kill Adonai Elohim vezes of an Israel am abdirim yam l'chem Umalchuso v'ratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe v'nei Yisrael achanu shira v'simcha rabbav yamru chulam Michamocha v'lam Adonai Michamocha d'eder b'lakodesh Nirasi lo sosei feleh Malchuscha ra'u v'necha Boki hayam lifnei Moshe Zeili anuv yamru Adonayim lo Yolam v'ed V'nehemar Kipado Adonai Yaakov U'yalo miyad Chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael Ushmor tzeisenu v'oheinu l'chaim u'l'shalom Yatov yad olam Baruch Baruch atah Adonai, Shomer Amo Yisrael La'ad. Baruch Adonai Olam, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Melech v'Chevdo Tamim L'Choleinu L'Aved V'Yal Kol Ha'Masa.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu al sfiras ha'omer hayom esrim yom shehem shnei shavuos v'shisha yomim ba'omer.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai hu Elohim, Adonai hu Elohim. Ishas nisam laboseinu v'lanu v'galanu v'yavdos lechiru sigalenu gulashlim abdikarov v'kavetzin lachenu mi'arba kanfos haaretz chaverim kol Yisrael v'nomar amen v'chisavo milchama v'artechem al atzarat zoreschem arosem echatrot rosu niskartem lefnei Adonai Elohechem v'noshatem v'yoivechem v'yom simchasem v'v'madechem v'roshei chadshechem Uskatem v'chatzros alolosechem v'yalzevchei shamechem v'yolachem HaZikaron lifnei Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem. Shana ba Birushalayim, Shana ba Birushalayim, Shana ba Birushalayim, Shana ba Birushalayim, Hallelujah. Shana ba Birushalayim, Birushalayim, Hallelujah. Shana ba Birushalayim, Birushalayim, Hallelujah. Yaratzon milafanecha Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoseinu Shekeshem Shezachinu Le'aschalata Digevula Keini Zeke Lishmoa Kol Shofro Shel Mashiach Tzidkeinu B'meira v'yameinu Ashir Amalos B'shuv Adonai Eshiv Asiyon Ainu Komim Azima Leisvarinu Ushoneinu Rina Az Yomru B'Hagoyim B'Gdil Adonai L'Asosim Meileh B'Gdil Adonai L'Asosim Manu Ayinu Tzimeitim Tuva Adonai Eschiviseinu Kafikim B'Negev Azorim B'Dima Verina Yiktaru Halakei Lechu B'Cha Nosei Meshech Hazara Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol. Asayis kidol yotzer v'shish lo sanik yiratzos lo sanik shchos adama shlo samchakinu yam ragad l'chol amnam shkishta. And I'm Rabbi Leonard Matanky. Vayomu Adonai Echad Yishmo Echad. Oh, ani ma'amin be'emunah she'le'yamav be'vi'asa Mashiach. Oh, ani ma'amin ve'afal pi she'yismameh Koze achakelo b'chol yom sheyavo b'chol yom sheyavo v'aval pi she'yismameh koze achakelo b'chol yom sheyavo b'chol yom sheyavo.
Thank you so much to everyone for joining us and to everyone who participated in the program. In celebration of the siyum and Yom HaAtzmaut, we are excited to introduce Eitan Katz for a live chagigah. Please feel free to turn on your video for dancing. Enjoy it and have a great night.
לשנה הבאה בירושלים, שנה הבאה בירושלים, לשנה הבאה בירושלים הבנויה, לשנה הבאה בירושלים הבנויה. שמנה שיר חדש, מן הנעלה, ושמנה שיר חדש, מן הנעלה, B'nei Yamina, hey, Emalei Bnei Hamikdash Bnei Hamikdash Yeyati Yoitemah Ay Bnei Hamikdash Bnei Hamikdash Yeyati Yoitemah Bnei Hamikdash Bnei Hamikdash Yeyati Yoitemah Sham Nashir Nashir Shir Nashir Mirana Mirana Sham Nashir Nashir Shir Nashir Mirana Lai 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 Bnei Hamikdash Bnei Hamikdash Yeyati Emalei Bnei Hamikdash Bnei Hamikdash Yeyati Emalei Baruch Hu Elokeinu She'ranuni v'haynu 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 Meir dilanu minatan Nazar laman tayras Eves kayayayla Nata beseitu Meir dilanu minatan Nazar laman tayras Eves kayayayla Nata beseitu Ay Baruch Hu Elokeinu She'ranuni v'haynu Baruch Hu Elokeinu She'ranuni v'haynu Ay Baruch Hu Ay Elokeinu She'ranuni v'haynu Baruch Hu Elokeinu She'ranuni v'haynu dilanu minatayim nazar laman tayras eves kayayayla nata beseitu ayim dilanu minatayim nazar laman tayras eves kayayayla nata beseitu hey lai 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 I'm Chag Sameach, everybody. Yeshiva University, what a beautiful program. I was just had an honor to be a part of and to watch it from my office over here. It would be so much better if we were all together. But you know what? This is what we got to do. And this is what, just everybody try to zone in, focus in a little bit, sing along wherever you are. I truly believe that when I'm doing these things, I can't obviously physically hear any of you singing, but I have it in my heart that you're singing with me and that we're all celebrating together. So we're going to mix it up in the next, couple of minutes. We're going to mix it up, do some fast stuff, do some slow stuff. Let's do one of my favorite songs. Shir Lamalot Sainai El Ha'ari Yain Yavo Ezri Tzvi Ve'im Hashem השמיים בארץ הניתן למות רגליך ינום שומרך הנה ינום אלוה ישן שומר ישראל שם שומרך שם צילך על יד ימינך יום על השמש ויגע וירח בלילה השם ישמור צאתך וגמולך כי ישמור את נפשך השם ישמור צאתך ובואך מעתה ועד עולם. Everyone listen up. I think right now your video is able to turn on. Do me a favor, enable your video. Let me see you guys. Let me bring with you in live as much as possible. But if I see you guys dancing and singing, you're going to get a serious shout out. Serious shout out. All right, 2, 3, like Ben Book over there. Here we go. Shir Lama Sa'enai Le'avi Ve'ayin Yavo Rabbi Berman, עושה שמיים בארץ, הניתן למות רגליך, ינום שומרך, הנה לא ינום, ולא ישן שומר ישראל, שם שומרך, השם צילך, על יד. I see I'll be happy getting into it. יום השמש לא יגע וירח בלילה השם ישמור לך מכל רע ישמור את נפשך השם ישמור צאתך ובואך ואתה מיד עולם. Here we go. I make it See the shalom, they're doing awesome. I love, and oh, did I Let's go, Ben Book. Everyone hands in there, let's go! Gabby Casting, let me see your hand, go! Daddy Lambert! Let's go! Oh, it's just the dance, he's having a good time. One more time. Baruch Hashem, so many familiar faces over here. See Jacob and Penina Bernstein. Jacob, what a beard. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Loving every second of it. Don't ever shave again. All right, here we go. Shalom ben Chayla Shalva Hey Armen Isayi Shalom ben Chayla Shalva Hey Armen Isayi Shalom, Shalom, Yarmen Isayi. Shalom, Shalom, Yarmen Isayi. We'll get there. I saw you. Shalom, Shalom, Meir, Ben Isayi. One more time. You see, even on Zoom, I got a tune. I can't let everybody down over here. Gotta have a good sounding guitar. L'chaim, everybody, l'chaim. I simcha. Wagman, we'll get there. I'm so sorry. I know it's your favorite song. I say yeah. We got the Lerman band over here too. Guys, we need more videos. There's 250 people on here. Let's go. Everybody join in with us. Join in. Let's go. Here we go. Sammy brought his guitar. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Hey! Here we go! All right. Da Have some fun of it. Here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I gotta see the lips moving, guys. Lips moving, hands moving. Get up. Here we go. Hey, you like get off the phone? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Jacob Stern's having the best time. One more time. Here we go. Together, everybody. Hey, Zachary, don't show up. Just joking. Hi, everybody. It's water, not vodka. Don't worry. פיך ובלבבך לה לעשות ישראל יפרעי וילך האדמה ויבוא פיך ובלבבך לה לעשות ישראל. Let's go everybody together. Ezra, I love the uke. Ellie, I love the beer. Love the beer. Together. Oh, Baruch Hashem, we're having a great time. Zachrenina, Zachrenina, Echazkenina, Achapam hazeh, Haelokim Achapam hazeh. Zachrenina, Zachrenina, Chaim book, I love it. Echazkenina, Achapam hazeh, Haelokim Achapam hazeh. Ve'inach ma Amachat Mishteyena Ve'kamachat Mishteyena Mipelishtim Ve'inach ma Ve'kamachat Mishteyena Ve'kamachat Mishteyena Mipelishtim Chayna Chayna Echzkenina Agapam hazeh Haelokim Agapam hazeh Zachreina Zachreina Echzkenina Agapam hazeh Haelokim Agapam hazeh Ve'inach ma Kamachat Mishteyena Mishteyena Mipelishtim Ve'inach ma Kamachat Mishteyena Ben, you're not allowed to shave. You're not allowed to shave, Ben. All right? No shaving, Ben. I'm also, this is what I grow in 20 days, you know? It's very, I'm joking. Chaim. Someone came over to me and asked me, they had like a little smirk on their face when they asked me the question, as if like they're coming to catch me on a lie. They're like, tell me the truth. Did A.B. Rottenberg write Lamancha? I was like, listen, truth is he didn't. But if there's anyone I would have wanted to write Lamancha, it's him. All right? It's like, no, really? You? No, it was A.B. Rottenberg. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. No, I'm joking. Rabbi Blau, this is for you. Avinu Chai. Hayan Avinu Chai. Hayan Avinu. Hayan Avinu. Hayan Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael's alive, Am Yisrael's alive, Am Yisrael's alive, Od Avinu Chai. Hayan Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. 1, 2, 3. I am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. I am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. I am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Yeshiva University, for coming on. And thank you, all of you hundreds of chevra that stayed on the whole time. May we merit to see the Geula Shlema Bekarov Mamash with Mashiach Tzidkenu, with the Binyan Beis HaMikdash. I'm a Kohen. You better be nice to me, guys, because I'm going to be on the Beis HaMikdash accepting your karbanos. All right? So you better be nice. You better like. You better follow me. I'm joking. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, YU. Thank you, Yeshiva University. All the best. Stay safe. Stay well. And we will be dancing together before we know it. All the best, guys.
Eitan, thank you so much. God willing, like you said, we will be all together having a chagigah at the Beis HaMikdash next to Yerushalayim.
Amen.